Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your monthly update for June of 2026. So for people new to the community, you can join my e-list to be kept in the loop. I send out the monthly missive during the first week of each month with the occasional additional email, but that is rare. So I'm calling June Changing the Mind, Reclaiming the Heart, and Choosing a New Direction. June arrives as a threshold month, a preparation and choice point between what has already awakened within you and the much larger collective shifts preparing to emerge in July. This month is less about immediate action and more about recalibration. The inner systems are being updated first. Your thinking, your value, your priorities, your desires, and ultimately the choices you are willing to make going forward. Before the next wave of acceleration arrives, June asks you to pause long enough to consciously align your mind, heart, and will with the future that you are trying to create. We have two big shifts this month, with Chiron moving into Taurus for the first time in 50 years and Jupiter entering Leo for the first time in 12 years. So I have created blog posts for each and we'll link them here. This will be especially impactful for anyone with strong Taurus, Scorpio, or Leo Aquarius. And I'm just going to give you a heads up. Next month, the North Node shifts into Aquarius, so the whole path and the focus of the path for the next 18 months is still in that same fixed family. So y'all are on deck for evolution, and I'm here to support that. So reach out if you need to. But the personal planets and their energies move in a very intentional sequence this month. First, Mercury challenges your thinking and perception to shift and grow. It's retrograding in Cancer. Then Venus refines your values and priorities and identifies what is truly important at this time. Finally, Mars activates the courage, momentum, and new choices required to move in a new direction. Together, these activations form a sacred progression of consciousness. Change the mind, recalibrate the heart, and then consciously choose the path ahead. Ashe. This is what happens, Mercury to Venus to Mars, and that's how our month is unfolding. Along with a seasonal shift, along with these big planetary shifts. I know it's hard to believe this is the warm-up, but it is going to get more intense as the months go on for the rest of the year. Now, Mercury activations are always about changing the mind, clarifying perception, and rewiring the inner narrative, which is what's going on right now. The Mercury activations this month are deeply introspective, asking you to reevaluate how you think, what you believe, and whether your current mental patterns are truly aligned with reality or simply inherited fears, confusion, or outdated conditioning. Deep breath. With Mercury squaring off with Neptune, the mental realm becomes foggy, imaginative, intuitive, and potentially deceptive all at once. This energy heightens spiritual sensitivity and creative vision, but it also increases the possibility of misunderstandings, projection, confusion, or wishful thinking. It becomes easier to hear what you want to hear rather than what is actually being communicated. This is why discernment becomes essential. Slow down your reactions, clarify your thoughts, choose your language, and resist making assumptions. Deep breath. Not every thought deserves belief, and not every feeling reflects objective truth. At the same time, this activation is beautiful for meditation, dream work, journaling, prayer, visualization, and reconnecting with your higher self. June asks you to clean up the mental clutter and strengthen your intuitive filter before moving forward. Then it squares off with Saturn, which is an entirely different kind of pressure, one that tests the strength, maturity, and realism of your thinking. This energy can feel heavy or serious because Saturn reveals where your ideas lack structure, where your plans need grounding, and where self-doubt or pessimism may be quietly shaping your choices. Communication may feel blocked or misunderstood, but this is not punishment. Saturn simply asks, is your thinking sustainable? Are your goals realistic? Are you mentally aligned with the life that you claim you want? This is an excellent time for strategic planning, organizing your priorities, eliminating distractions, and strengthening the inner design of your future. Instead of spiraling into criticism or overwhelm, focus on incremental progress. Clear the mental debris, refine the vision, and build stronger foundations for the next chapter, now rather than later. That's important. Together, these Mercury activations reveal that June is not the month to blindly rush in. It is the month to consciously update your perception, clarify your truth, and think differently about what is possible. I say. And that's just Mercury. Venus activations are about shifting values, rebalancing relationships and clarifying what truly matters. So once the mind begins to shift, Venus moves in to recalibrate the heart. The Venus activations this month ask you to get radically honest about your values, priorities, relationships, and use of resources, including your time, energy, attention, money, and emotional investments. Venus opposing Pluto intensifies everything connected to love, attachment, desire, intimacy, power, and deeper emotional exchange. This activation exposes what has become imbalanced, compulsive, manipulative, draining, or unsustainable in your relationships and or value systems. Anything built on illusion, control, guilt, dependency, or avoidance may surface now for purification. Those are all unconscious things we do in the Pluto underworld, and it needs to come up and get cleaned out. At its core, this is a deep examination of what truly matters to you and whether your life actually reflects those values. Where are you over-investing? Where are you emotionally starving while trying to maintain appearances? What are you afraid to release? Pluto asks you to stop feeding emotional famine with temporary distractions and instead trace the imbalance back to its deeper root. If something is ending, shifting, or transforming, allow the process to reveal the truth rather than resisting it. What survives this transit often becomes far more authentic and sustainable afterward. Deep breath. Thankfully, Venus trine Saturn offers grounding, maturity, and stabilization after the emotional intensity of Pluto. This energy supports healthier commitments, clearer priorities, stronger boundaries, and more realistic long-term planning around relationships and finances. Saturn helps crystallize what is worth building, protecting, and sustaining. This is a beautiful activation for clarifying your future vision, discussing shared goals, strengthening commitments, and aligning your resources with your true priorities. The relationships, projects, and values that remain standing now are the ones capable of supporting your future evolution. June asks you to stop investing in what merely distracts you and begin consciously cultivating what genuinely nourishes, stabilizes, and supports both your body and soul. Together, these Venus activations redefine value itself, not superficial value, soul value. They ask what is truly worth your life force energy, time, and resources. Deep breath. Assessments are underway anytime Venus connects with Saturn because it is our values and we need to assess our reality and make sure we're still on point with what we're trying to do. Now, all this leads to Mars and Jupiter activation at the end of the month, and then that Saturday, the 4th of July, which is the last day in the weeks when I do my weekly forecast, so it was all included to kick off July. So we're going to talk about these again in July, but it starts in June, and these are the Mars activations that are also a precursor to the bigger alignments coming with the social collective planets interacting for the first time in years and years and years come July, August. So deep breath. Everything is preparation for the next thing. So we're calling the Mars activations shifting choices, activating courage, and preparing for the next cycle. After the mind recalibrates and the heart clarifies, Mars arrives to activate movement, action, and decision. But this month's Mars transits are not casual. They are initiatory. They prepare you for the much larger cycles in July by activating clarity around your desires, motivations, direction, and willingness to evolve. When it sextiles Jupiter, it expands your awareness of future possibilities and encourages you to pursue goals that are genuinely resonant with your soul. This energy restores confidence, optimism, and momentum while illuminating new opportunities for growth. It becomes easier to see what could be possible if you are willing to act differently or make new choices going forward. At the same time, balance is important. Jupiter can amplify overconfidence or impulsiveness if you move too quickly without proper grounding. Use this energy to explore, learn, connect, and move toward what feels meaningful rather than merely exciting. Now, I just have to say, basically for the next 8 years, grounding is the key to everything. Breathing and grounding, because everything's air and fire. And so if we don't ground that kind of electricity, it can travel so far. And of course, Jupiter makes everything bigger, even though this is an opportunity to grow and shift. When Mars and Uranus get together, it delivers the breakthrough moment. This is revolutionary energy, volatile, liberating, disruptive, and deeply awakening. Uranus refuses stagnation, and Mars provides the fuel for change. Together, they break old patterns, identities, restrictions, and limitations that no longer align with who you are becoming. This can feel exhilarating or chaotic depending on your resistance to change. You may feel an undeniable urge to reclaim your freedom, redirect your life, or begin something entirely new. The key is conscious redirection rather than reckless reaction. This is not destruction for destruction's sake. It is liberation through release, realignment, and renewal. So deep breath. It's crazy when Uranus gets involved, and if they're conjuncting, that means this is all in Gemini, which is a lot of your mind and thinking and ideas, your networks and your friends, and how you socialize and express yourself out in the world. So it's time for a new day. As it connects with Neptune, this will soften and spiritualize the process, helping you reconnect action with purpose and deeper meaning. This activation reminds you that your choices matter most when they are aligned with vision, compassion, intuition, and soul-level truth. Your instincts become more refined now, helping you sense which direction truly supports your evolution. This is ideal energy for dream building, creative action, healing work, spiritual service, and aligning your actions with your deeper calling. It is no longer enough to simply stay busy. Your actions must have substance, purpose, and meaning. Deep breath. Finally, Mars trine Pluto offers the power to fully commit to transformation. This is deep, focused, empowered momentum that helps you permanently shift patterns, behaviors, and choices that no longer support your future. Pluto intensifies Mars's drive, but the trine provides smoother integration and greater self-awareness. You will begin to recognize where your actions either support or sabotage your deepest desires. This is the moment when conscious choice and inner alignment become real. You are no longer merely thinking about change, you are embodying it. So definitely by the end of the month, we need to walk a new walk. The larger message of June says that June is not random preparation. It is strategic soul alignment before major acceleration. Mercury asks you to change your thinking, Venus asks you to upgrade your values, and Mars asks you to make different choices accordingly. The old ways of thinking, relating, choosing, and moving through life cannot fully support the new cycles emerging in July and beyond. Something foundational must shift first. This month helps expose where your thoughts are clouded, where your values are misaligned, where your energy is scattered, and where your actions no longer reflect your true purpose. This is not about perfection. It is about conscious participation in your own evolution. It is time to think differently, value something new, and make new choices, because the future that is arriving will require a stronger mind, a balanced heart, and a much more authentic relationship with your own power. Okay, deep breath. So that's the monthly update, which provides just a general overview. If you want dates and details, then I recommend subscribing to my Power Circle, because that is only $9.99 a month or $99 for the year, which gets you 2 months for free. And it gets you personal customized goodies so you can track yourself as well as what's going on up in the sky. Now, for upcoming events, in June, we have the 11th with the Venus Circle. Kimberly Jarena is joining us. She is my go-to girl for combining astrology and numerology, and I highly recommend her readings and support, and her circles are evolving, and just being born, I'm so happy to see her blossom, and I would love for you all to drop in to the Venus Circle and check her out. On the 16th, we're getting together to talk about that Jupiter moving into Leo, which is a very big deal, and we're all going to want the replay on that one. And between that one and the Saturn and Aries replays and posts and things, you should be able to decide if it's time for you to check in with your own returns and look at some of those goodies I'm offering. I did promise to have those links ready in June, so hopefully by the time this goes out, it is ready, because that'll be your personal customized support. And as you all do your individual thing with those, we might form a little group support as well. And then the fire ceremony for summer solstice is not going to be on Sunday the 21st, which is actual solstice, but later in the week on Thursday the 25th. My whole June got hijacked, y'all. I had to move a lot of things around. So I hope that you all will sit with me that evening for sunset and look at the energetic support for the next 6 weeks. We do a community reading, and community divinations. And if anyone hangs late, we usually pull cards and just chit chat. So all are welcome. Bring your friends. I am keeping registration for Astro 101 class open until June 15th. But if I don't have 10 people registered, then we're just going to postpone it till 2027. So if you have been looking to learn about astrology the Kelly way, or learn about it through your own blueprint, because that's how I teach it, then let's do it. We've been doing it every year since 2018, so let's keep it going. All right, y'all. The relevant reflections will be listed here too. For Chiron and Taurus, the new post. Jupiter and Leo's got a new post. By then, the solstice excerpt for energetic support will be posted. Uranus and Gemini, Saturn and Aries, and Neptune and Aries are ongoing. So they're going to always be good to review. If you haven't already seen my posts or heard the replays of the calls we've done, check them out. And if you have, or you were there, then it's usually a good thing to circle back at least annually and just see what it brings up and how it's unfolding for you. Meantime, if you want to know about your own cycles, the Astro Cycles reading is my signature reading. We're wrapping up the Venus cycle and getting ready to start a new one in Scorpio. So those of you who have been waiting for the new Scorpio custom guide and the reading that goes with it, stay tuned because I'm working on it as we speak. So that's our June monthly update. Please join us when and where you can. Reach out directly when you need to, and have a fantastic month. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.